Welcome back, family. This is your boy ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, listen, that just simply means Ed. We're back with another opportunity to talk about take the limits off project managers. Taking the limits off a project manager. Do you like take the limits off as project managers? I have three tips for you. I'll keep it brief and straight to the point. Three tips are kickoff meeting. The reason why it's important to have a kickoff meeting before you basically ignite a project is because it really sets the project team and it makes a loud announcement that it is coming. See, one of the things that I've learned over my time as a project manager is that when you don't have a kickoff meeting and this is a new project and you go right in and you just start the project and it's like, okay, we got a charter together, all right, let's go get the resources and just go. You have such a resistance from the project team, and they should have a resistance because it's like you, they're trying to reorganize their priorities and the bandwidth and all of these things. So it's very important when you look at when you start a project and you got everything together, you got your charter together, you know you and your sponsor are working together and identified, hey, these are the group of stakeholders that we believe we need. We know we're going to need a bigger group, but let's have a kickoff meeting with all the various resources, even bring people in that may not that we may not even think may not be part of the project, but you never know. So we have that kickoff meeting, and I'm gonna tell you, family, there's been so many times where someone I was like, oh yeah, they don't need to be part of this, and then I invite them anyway, and it comes to find out they do have a piece in this project, whether small or big. They still had a piece, they had a voice. It wasn't that they were complaining. You also got to be cognizant of that too, but we'll talk about that another day. But again, tip number one out of the three tips is have a kickoff meeting. That is very important because a kickoff meeting, again, is really like your sales brochure for getting the buy-in from the team, getting the buy-in from the business, getting the buy-in from your leadership as well. My second tip is avoid unrealistic milestones. Avoid real unrealistic milestones. Okay, to my beginner project managers out there, I really want to emphasize this. You will get excited because number one, you have a project and you're about to take the leadership of role of leading your team to the promised land. And because you're leading your team to the promised land, you're going to make unrealistic time goals. I've seen it over and over again. Leadership says, hey, how long do you think it'll take it? Now, you know it's going to take 8 weeks. You talk with your technical team, you talk with the business operational teams, you talk with just all different type of teams. You want to do your homework. But you want to impress, you want to show out, you want to say that you deserve this role as a new project manager. And guess what you do? You create unrealistic timelines. Now, when you create these unrealistic timelines, not only do you impact yourself, you impact your project team because now instead of delivering quality work, they're delivering work that is going to have to be constantly checked to make sure that nothing was skipped versus having a process and following the process and having some type of wiggle room, or I should say, having some type of agility, no plug, but agility to being able to move within the project. So, family, especially my beginner project managers, please do your homework and your research. And when you're creating these milestones and timelines, if you're creating a milestone chart or building out your project schedule, make sure you have some realistic timelines. Don't create anything unrealistic because you'll pay for it at the end or in the middle, one or the two, but you will have to pay the bill for it. My last and final tip is break down projects into smaller chunks. Again, break down projects into smaller chunks. What does that mean? See, that's just leveraging a framework of Agile, which is Scrum. I like to use the Scrum framework when it comes to that, but what I'm saying is breaking it down into smaller chunks. It's sort of even like this can be applied even to your life. I mean, when you have these audacious goals that you want to achieve and you don't break them down into like smaller milestones, it looks like it's going to take forever. So I recommend if you have a big project, even a small project, being able to take those milestones or even the project as a whole, to break it down into smaller, bite-sized, manageable wins. So that way you're keeping the momentum. Ooh, I like that. The momentum going, because when you're on a project, you're going to have days or weeks or even sometimes months that is going to look like there is no traction. I heard this before where they talked about a swan in the water. And what you notice about a swan is so graceful and how it moves. And you're like, oh, wow, it's just so graceful. But if you were to take a look underwater, it's just paddling so crazy. And it's, I mean, all of the exert of energy that they're putting in to move forward and to make it look graceful as it is. And that's what you want to do as a project manager, even though you're working so hard underwater and making it happen and behind the scenes and doing certain things. You want to make it look as graceful and as peaceful as possible. Family, if you really enjoy this content, what I've done also to complement this video aspect, I've created a blog around this particular topic for today. So you should go check out my blog. I really think you'll really enjoy it. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, or you're looking for mentorship, I am going to be opening up a mentor program and in the next month or so. I will be putting together a page in which will allow you to sign up and to see if if we will be a good fit for each other, to help you, excuse me, on your journey on being a project manager or building on your project management skill set that you already have. Again, my name is ED. My government name is Edward. If you're looking for me, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on YouTube. Where else you can find me? You can find me on Facebook. But really, family, my goal here is to help beginner, intermediate, and advanced project managers. But my biggest thing is I really want to help these new beginner project managers so they can move faster in this skill set of project management. Again, I appreciate you taking the time out to listen to me. I hope there was something valuable that you got out of this. Again, 3 tips, and I'm going to look them right here. Kickoff meeting. 1, avoid having unrealistic milestone charts. And the last and final one, break down projects into smaller chunks. Again, I am ED. This has been another Conscious Agility Movement. Thank you, and I'm out. Peace.